ironic, but this is a book haul, and you'll understand the irony in a little bit. Hey Booktube, it's Kim at Middle of the Book March, and this is my Bookish week for Sunday, March 12th? Yeah, I think so. Sure, let's go with the 12th. So I didn't have a midweek video this past week, and I'll explain why in a minute. And most of this video is going to be a book haul because I didn't finish anything. I am still working on The Snow Child, as I'm about to hit myself in the head, by Eowyn Ivey. I'm going to be done quickly. Well, soon. Not quickly, but soon. And this will fit right into Springathon, and the prompt would be winter. So this I will hopefully finish this weekend. So here's why I didn't have a midweek video, and I may not have a midweek video for the next month. I am going to be moving on June 15th will be my moving date. And so I'm going to be super busy downsizing and decluttering and cleaning up, but I am committed to having my Sunday videos every week. And if I can manage it in my schedule, I will have a midweek video, but I may not have one every week. And hopefully after June 15th, once I get settled and unpacked and set up, my regular schedule will commence. So there's the irony of a book haul, because I have already unhauled a massive number of books because I'm moving into a smaller space and I just simply have too much stuff. So I've been hauling a lot. I have yet to go through these shelves. Haven't done that yet. And at the time I was thinking maybe I can do some giveaways, but quite honestly, I simply don't have the mental or physical energy to do that. I may do one or two, but it's only going to be a single book if I really believe that it could be a good giveaway. But here I am. I have a book haul. And these are books I've been collecting for a couple of months, so I didn't go out and buy all these books all at one time. But they are a combination of thrifted and bargain books and a couple of new books, and I'll kind of share which ones are which. And I don't know if you even care about that, because normally in my book hauls I do say these are all bargain or used or whatever they are. This is a pretty big combination, but most of them are thrifted. So I have a big bag right next to me, so I'm just going to reach in and grab books. This one, I absolutely love this cover, and if you could see this in person, all of the graphics are in gloss, and the font is glossy. And this is Hooked, Food, Free Will, and How the Food Giants Exploit Our Addictions by Michael Moss. He is also the author of Salt, Sugar, Fat. Look at this cover. So all of these are glossy, and all of the font is in glossy. Can you see all the shine? It is a super pretty cool cover. And this is basically on food addiction. Let's see, what if some of the decisions we make about what to eat are beyond our control? Is it possible that food is addictive like drugs or alcohol? Yes, sugar is addictive, and quite possibly fats and any of the other components in junk foods. That's why they're so pervasive in our not nutrition, but in our diets. Hooked by Michael Moss. So love that cover. This one, these are all bargain books. This one is a bargain book that was also used. It doesn't look like it was ever read. It's got like a little tiny stain on the cover that I could probably wash off. This is 10 Years in the Tub by Nick Hornby, a decade soaking in great books. And I first saw this book on Kelly's channel at Books I'm Not Reading. Thank you, Kelly. And this is basically Nick Hornby writing about documenting 10 years in books, and he does it by dates. So it's kind of a book journal. I mean, he's got May 2006. So I thought this was really cool. And what reader doesn't love reading books about books? And I really liked Nick Hornby's High Fidelity. Loved the movie with John Cusack for reasons. Now, these two I actually bought new, and the third in this kind of memoir series is out now. And I believe Heidi from My Reading Life is reading the third one or has already finished it. This is The Salt Path by Rainer Wynn, and this is kind of a memoir of her and her husband walking, where is it? 630 miles of the sea-swept southwest coast path from Somerset to Dorset through Devon and Cornwall. And her husband's name is Moth. He's 30. Her husband of 32 years, I can talk, is terminally ill. Their house and farm are taken away along with their livelihood. So this begins a series of memoirs about this 630-mile walking trek that they are on. The next one is The Wild Silence. And this one, after walking 630 homeless miles along the salt path, the English coastline, the cliffs, the sky, and the chalky earth now feel like their home. So Moth has a terminal diagnosis, and they are trying to discover what that's going to mean for their relationship. So there's a lot of nature, a lot of hopefully nature writing in both of these books, these memoirs, and the third one is out now. I'm going to wait for that one to come out in paperback, as long as I like these two. Ooh, this one. Julia, a novel by Sandra Newman. This is a retelling of George Orwell's 1984. If you've read 1984, you know who Julia is. I'm not really going to give you a lot more description about this book. I love 1984. I've read it several times and loved that I got this one at a bargain price. Let's see. Ooh, I'm going to say that because I'm looking in the bag and it's like opening presents. This one is from the author of Greenwood, Michael Christie. I loved that beautiful book. If I Fall, If I Die by Michael Christie. This one is Will has no memory of ever being outside. For most of his young life, he's lived happily inside with his mother, a loving yet wildly eccentric agoraphobe who panics at the thought of opening the front door. But Will's curiosity can't be contained. That's all I'm going to read. If I Fall, If I Die. So Michael Christie's writing was beautiful in Greenwood. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting that. If I Fall, If I Die. What's the next one? Let's see. I might put a couple of these. Ooh. I did it again. Who hasn't heard of this book? James by Percival Everett. I have been collecting Percival Everett's books in paperback, but this one is in hardcover, and I didn't want to wait. But what might kick me in the pants is I might not get to this very soon, and by the time I do, it could already be in paperback. I don't know. No, I'm not going to look at that one. This one, let's see. Long Live the Post Horn by Vigdis Hjort. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. I just finished her book, Will and Testament. This one is translated from the Norwegian by Charlotte Barsland, same translator of Will and Testament. Don't even know what this is about. I just know that I loved her writing. Let's see. Eleanor, frosty and detached PR consultant, has not been feeling herself lately. It's been a while since she felt much of anything. She is disillusioned with her job and deeply ambivalent about her boyfriend. But when her colleague vanishes overnight, an unusual brief lands on Eleanor's desk. We'll find out. Translated fiction. And I'm not going to look at that one. There's a couple in here I'm not even going to really talk about. These two I bought at a thrift shop, and they're both by Colson Whitehead. This one is Sag Harbor, which is a novel. I think this was $3. Benji Cooper is one of the few black students at an elite prep school in Manhattan, but every summer, Benji escapes to the Hamptons, to Sag Harbor, where a small community of African-American professionals have built a world of their own. This is the summer of '85. Colson Whitehead is, of course, the author of The Nickel Boys and The Underground Railroad, which I want to reread. I got 50% through that book and I put it down, but I want to reread it. So I got this one. And I found Harlem Shuffle in hardcover for $3. Colson Whitehead. This looks like an unread book. Unread. To his customers and neighbors on 125th Street, Carney is an upstanding salesman of reasonably priced furniture. making a decent life for himself and his family. He and his wife Elizabeth are expecting their second child, and if her parents on Strivers Road don't approve of him, or their cramped apartment across from the subway tracks, it's still home. Few people know he descends from a line of uptown hoods and crooks, and that his facade of normalcy has more than a few cracks in it. Cracks that are getting bigger all the time. Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead. Brand new, hardcover copy, $3. This one was a brand new one, and I just couldn't wait. This, along with James, I'm hoping I can get to soon, but I don't know. The Extinction of Arena Ray, and this is from Jennifer Croft, who is a book translator, and this is her novel. She also wrote Homesick, and this one just sounds so good. Such a beautiful cover. I didn't buy it for the cover, I bought it for the description, which is a little bit of 8 translators arrive at a house in the primeval Polish forest. That's all I needed to read. On the border of Belarus. It belongs to the writer Arena Ray, and they are there to translate her magnum opus, Grey Eminence. But within days of their arrival, Arena disappears without a trace. The translators, who hail from 8 different countries, but share the same reverence for their beloved author, begin to investigate where she has gone while they proceed with work on her masterpiece. They explore the ancient wooded refuge with its intoxicating slime molds and lichens, and study her exotic belongings and layered text for clues. But doing so reveals secrets and deceptions of Arena Ray's that they are utterly unprepared for. That's all I'm going to read. I can't wait to get to this one. Really looking forward to that. Oh, let's see. What other ones do I want to show you? This one, The Mid-Coast, a novel by Adam White. I found this in the store, and it's about Maine. And I think Heidi from My Reading Life was talking about this book. And it says, it is spring in the tiny town of Damariscotta. It's a real town in Maine. A tourist haven on the coast of Maine known for its oysters and antiques. Andrew, a high school English teacher, has brought his family to a lavish party at Ed and Steph Thatch's sprawling riverside estate, where it's hard not to stand in awe of all the wealth and power amassed by this family of lobstermen over the years. But as Andrew wanders through the Thatch's house, he stumbles upon photos of a torched body in a burned-out sedan. English teacher and the coast of Maine, I was all over this one. Really like the description of that. This one is an interesting new book, and this is from the Feminist Press, an independent press. The Default World by Naomi Kinakia. And I absolutely love this cover as well. Look at that. Those are eyelashes. Neon green eyelashes. Years after fleeing the Bay Area and getting sober, Janvi has made a life for herself in Sacramento, working at a grocery co-op and saving for her gender-affirming surgeries. But when her friend, and sometimes more, Henry, mentions that he and his roommates spent $100,000 transforming a basement into a sex dungeon for a fire-spinning bacchanal during Alternafest, Janvi starts wondering if there's a way to exploit these rich, gullible idiots. She returns to San Francisco and crashes at Henry's apartment while hatching a plan to marry him for his company's generous healthcare benefits. I love that description. Oh, gracious. And I don't see a description of the... Oh, there it is. Naomi Kinakia is the author of 3 YA novels and a nonfiction book, What's So Great About Great Books. Her stories, poetry, and essays have been published in American Short Fiction, Asimov's, Gulf Coast, and others. She has an MFA from Johns Hopkins and was an Emerging LGBTQ Voices Fellow at Lambda's Literary 2015 Writers Retreat. She lives in San Francisco with her wife and daughter. And I only read that because this is a brand new book to me. And I had ordered it from Feminist Press, and I didn't receive it for a while. And I sent them an email, and they're like, you pre-ordered it. We will be sending it to you. So yeah, doofus. And the last one is a Nikki French book that I got thrifting. It's a standalone because I started reading her Frida Klein series, which I love. And this one is brand new. I mean, brand new as in hasn't ever been read. It was I thrifted it for $7. It is The Favor by Nikki French. And let's see. It's a simple enough favor. Jude hasn't seen Liam in years, but when he shows up at her work asking for a favor, she finds she can't refuse. All Jude has to do is pick Liam up at a country's train station without telling anyone. So what if she has to lie to her fiancé? Jude is still committed to him in their imminent wedding, even if she and Liam were in love once. She owes him. Now he's gone. It's a mystery. It's a Nikki French mystery. I found it thrifting. What was I do? Not going to buy it? What was I wasn't going to buy it? Please. That's it. I got the end of the bag, and that's my book haul for this week. I'm not sure I'm going to have a midweek video as I mentioned, and I might have one the week after. I'm not sure, but I'm just trying to do things in advance to prepare for moving, and that's about that. Other things are going okay, and I may be sounding cryptic. I don't mean to, but I will be giving you a life update once I'm moved and settled, and that's about it. Hope you're having a good week, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.